to see what you buy. All right. See, it's a very the elders had made a point. You know, in all seriousness, I'm laughing at these niggas, but in all seriousness, the elders made a point. The mark of the beast being the microchip is not a deep thing, man. It's not a thing where you gotta go into it and find out. It's simple. John said, and it was what you have to do. You have to put the scriptures in perspective. When John saw these things, the Lord brought him into that vision, and he could see. He was looking exactly at what was going on. And the brother Adama, he made a point when we were speaking amongst each other. He said this: whenever there was a prophet that didn't understand a vision that he received, what in turn happened? Like in Daniel's, when he didn't understand a vision, the angel then explained it to him. Same thing in the book of Revelation with John. When John, there was something that John, he said, what meanest thou by these? And he explained it to him. But the chip, it didn't have to be explained because it was straightforward. That's what the conversation, you know, between me and Adama had that thought. It was straight. The reason why there was no need for an explanation, the chip is a simple thing, man. It's going to be something that's implanted in you. That's why he used the word charagma was used. That's why the word charagma was used. Because it's going to be something that's implanted. It's not a difficult thing, man. But what happens is, like we always say that, especially here in Boston, we always say that they're not teaching to teach Israel the truth. They're teaching opposite, or to oppose what we say. So we can say anything, everything that comes out of our mouth is truth. But because we said it, they got to say the opposite of it. They're not teaching to teach you the truth. They're teaching you so that it can be the opposite of what we're saying, so that they can discredit us. But in turn, they make themselves look like fools, man. They make themselves look like idiots. All right? It says this: the companies believe that joining personal health records and identity security solutions provides a solid foundation for organic growth and a strong, flexible platform for future offers. Under terms of the agreement, StillVault stockholders will receive 0.5 shares of Verichip common stock for every share of StillVault common stock held. The outstanding stock options and warrants of StillVault will also be converted at the same ratio. So that's just going into, you know, who owns it and all of that stuff. But the point was made that the chip is not just talking about identification or something you put in your dog so you can find it. All right. Now let's go to I want to go to one more site. It's called Positive ID, which was now with Verichip and StillVault together call themselves. All right. Now, if you go on the website, it's positiveidcore.com. Now this here is the website. Now if you just simply just do the research, you'll find out that chip is more than just you know, identification, man. And even though the simple word identification is more than just seeing who you are, because another form of identification, not just a card that got your picture on it, but your fingerprints are a form of identification, right? And they already have technology in the work.
Ilona, thanks. Well, some new technology is helping to make sure young kids cannot lose their school lunch money. As Daniel Seberg explained, some schools are setting up prepaid accounts that students access with the touch of their finger.
At lunchtime, the students of the West End Elementary School in Rome, Georgia, use their fingers for more than just eating.
Go ahead, Patrick.
They also use them for identification in paying for their lunch. The children's parents prepay into an account and deductions are made each mealtime. The finger scans ensure that each child's meal is deducted from the correct account.
It's just scientific.
In the past, Rome, Georgia students scanned barcode cards or punched PIN numbers into a keypad to get their meals. But the cards would get lost or damaged, and the PIN numbers would be forgotten or mistyped. There's no forgetting or losing fingers.
It has dramatically increased our time of getting our students through the line more quickly and efficiently In this particular school, we have cut the lunch serving time 20 minutes, and we still have kindergarten, first and second grade to implement.
School nutrition director Barbara Carter says the scanning system is secure. It's not connected to the internet, only the cafeteria server. And it records only 7 points on a finger, not a full fingerprint.
Where you can go to the grocery store and pay with your fingerprint. There's schools in the United States where the kids can pay for their school lunch instead of having a card or a ticket with their fingerprint. So so identification is more than just a card with your picture on it. You know? So you gotta search these things. So they got this thing here. They got a couple of different things that they're working on. But I in particular wanted to go to this one here. It's called the glucose chip. And if you go on the website, you can go in there. There's a lot of things that they're trying to do with the RFID technology. See, the RFID is just the name that they put on the technology, but its function is something completely different. If you go, well, not necessarily different, but it's broader than it just being identification. But RFID, radio frequency identification, is just the name of the technology, but its function and its abilities are so vast that you have to check it. You have to check it, and this has to be the mark of the beast, man. This RFID chip has to be the mark of the. There's nothing else on planet Earth that this can possibly be. All right. So going to this here, this glucose chip. All right. It says here. This is just a little, history on the glucose chip. Down here, they got a little diagram to show you how it works. But I'm just gonna read a little bit of it just to make the point, and then we'll move on. I got another couple of scriptures here that I want to read, and then that'll be it. Lord's will, the point was made. But I'm gonna just read a little bit of this, and we'll take it from there. It says this glucose chip. All right. Taking the capabilities of RFID. So it's not just talking about identification, it's talking about the capabilities, what it's able to do, the function of it, all right? Taking the capabilities of RFID implantable microchips beyond simple identification. This is on their very own website, the Positive ID website. It says this, I'm going to read it again. Taking the capabilities of RFID implantable microchips beyond simple identification. So the RFID is used more than just for ID. Alright? It says Positive ID received a patent in 2006 for an embedded biosensor system that combines an embedded biosensor system on an implanted RFID microchip. One potential application of this biosensor system is an implantable biosensing RFID microchip that measures glucose levels in the body in real time. So this microchip, once it gets put in your body, it's going to act as a living organism. For instance, when a germ goes into your body, right? What happens? Your white blood cells goes and attacks it. So this works along with your body. When your glucose levels get low and get to a certain level, this chip that they're gonna put inside you will measure it. And then when I read on further, what it does, it creates a whole database. It creates a whole log of the date that your glucose dropped, why it dropped, what you need to do to bring it up. This thing is intricate, man. This thing is more than just identification. It says this: to advance this application, Positive ID partnered with Receptors LLC, an expert in the field of proteomics and the development of artificial receptors, to develop a prototype level glucose sensor to use in conjunction with an implantable biosensing RFID microchip to measure glucose levels in the body. Receptors has successfully completed phase 1 and phase 2 of the project. So they're doing this. This is not something that's in the works. It's not something that's in somebody's mind somewhere or in somebody's notebook. They're doing it, man. They're creating this thing. All right. It says in phase 1 of its